Hello everyone, welcome back to another Dice Throne Talk. Today we are going to be talking about the Ninja, and she is a level 2 complexity based on her leaflet right here. And I'll let you look at that for a moment. And she is a very nice addition to Dice Throne Season 1 Rerolled. If you are looking to play the Shadow Thief or that character class interests you, the Ninja is going to interest you as well. She is the lower level complexity compared to the Shadow Thief. So a lot of times, in fact, over the weekend, I just showed a person Dice Throne Season 1 Rerolled. He wanted to go through all the different characters. He told me that he liked the rogue style of things. And so I'm like, okay, well, we'll try the Ninja first. If you like the Ninja, then we'll do the Shadow Thief. We did that, and he loved it, and he understood the difference of the two complexities. She is extremely strong, even though her complexity is not as high. I know a lot of people can have misunderstandings about that, but just because it's low complexity doesn't mean they're not strong. She is an extremely strong character overall. Here is her leaflet and her dice pool. On 1, 2, 3, she has her Ninjato. 4, 5 is her Shuriken. And 6 is her mask. So pretty reasonable and easy dice pool overall. And then we're looking at her stats effects here. Delayed poison, stack limit of 2. And the person who has this delayed poison on them will receive 3 damage at the end of their turn. So if you stack 2 on your opponent, that's going to be 6 damage that they're taking at the end of their turn, not yours. Smoke bomb, stack limit of 1. Spend it and roll a die. If you roll 1, 2, or 3, you avoid all damage. Keep note that it's when a player with this token receives damage. So not just an offensive roll phase, you rolled your defense and you don't want to get hit by that mass effect, you can use a smoke bomb. Let's say you attack the Pyromancer and you don't want to get hit by 5 damage because of their defensive roll. You can use Smoke Bomb. So it's just when you would receive damage overall, you can use the Smoke Bomb. And then lastly, her Ninjutsu, stack limit of 3. This status effect is extremely powerful. It hits me quite hard. My buddy Gar, he uses Ninja very effectively, I feel like, and he can stack on some Ninjutsu quickly and consistently to have a 6 damage turn into a 12 damage just like that. It's kind of crazy what he can do. But after attacking, a player with this token may spend it and roll a die. 1 to 3, add a damage. 4 to 5, add 2 damage. On a 6, you can choose to either add 2 damage and inflict delayed poison, or make your attack undefendable. It's an attack modifier. So these ninjutsus, you are going to want to spend it before your opponent does a defensive roll. The reason why is because if you attack defendable damage, you give your ability or your opponent the ability to do a defensive roll. And you're like, okay, now I want to add my ninjutsus, and the first one is a 6. Well, you can't make it undefendable anymore. So now your only option is to add 2 and delayed poison, which is extremely good. But if you wanted to make it undefendable, you need to spend them before that defensive roll. Otherwise, it's no longer needed. Here are her dice and the mask overall right there. And then here are her CP counters and health dial. Really nicely done, as with everything else. With Dice Throne, it's very nice quality components. Alrighty, so let's go over her abilities here. The first one is Slash, 5, 6, 7, nothing else. Pretty reasonable actually overall. In fact, I wouldn't be upset if that got nerfed to a 4, 5, 6. Because of her ninjutsus, she can turn that 7 damage, plus 6, plus any other attack modifiers. She can do a lot of damage with just a slash. So don't feel like you are missing out because you went for a slash, but you have 3 ninjutsus. That's, in fact, extremely nice to do. Next is Walk the Line. Roll 2 die and deal damage equal to total roll value. the final roll value is 6 or less, attack becomes undefendable. Keep in mind that it says the final roll, not anything that you add on after the fact with attack modifiers. So if you roll a 6 and then you have ninjutsus, play your ninjutsus, that is all undefendable. So keep in mind it just says the roll. As we're looking at our upgrades here, I'll go back to /2, 3 of a kind, gain ninjutsu, and then you have a 4, 6, 8. That's actually pretty unique, I would say, overall. With a lot of characters, usually it's a 4, 5, 6 or 5, 6, 7, whatever it may be. But 3 kind, very strong card overall. It should be worth that 2 CP. And then you have walk the line. And then you're also adding tip of the blade, roll 1 die, deal pure damage equal to the roll value. Pure damage, you don't see it a whole lot. The only other time I believe you see it is with the Shadow Thief. And pure damage is just meaning that you can't add anything else to it. You cannot do any additional attack modifiers. Whatever the roll is, that's what you're dealing, and it's undefendable damage. And I believe this is, oh, you can re-roll one of those 2 dice that you're re-rolling for Walk the Line. So pretty good overall. So if you're not happy with, if you roll like a 1 and a 3, you're like, I don't like that, you can then change it from there. So those are those 2. Next, we have Death Blossom. Roll 5 dice, deal 1 damage per her Ninjato, and then 2 damage per her Shuriken. And on a mask, this attack becomes undefendable. Very strong attack. You're going to see this attack quite a bit. A lot of times that first roll, you may actually roll 2 Ninjatos and 3 Shurikens. Very close. So it's going to help you get that Death Blossom. It may help you get that Smokescreen. And also help you get to maybe a small straight as well, depending on what you're rolling. And then her upgraded ability, 2 CP. And on double mask, inflict delayed in poison, and you can re-roll up to 2 of these dice. Her ability to re-roll a lot of dice is quite amazing as the user and quite disheartening as the opponent, because they just automatically do it. They don't need to try again, one more time, so wild, 6 it, whatever it may be. They just innately, I'm just going to re-roll this because I don't like it. So that, as an opponent, that can be rough to go up against, and be mindful that if you let them do these kind of attacks, they're going to optimize these attacks as much as possible. Next is Smokescreen. A chosen player gains Smoke Bomb and 2 ninjutsus. A chosen opponent is inflicted with delayed poison. This should be one of your abilities that you want to get to whenever you're out of everything. You're like, okay, I need a reset here. I need to get a Smoke Bomb. Need to get a couple ninjutsus, but I'm still going to inflict delayed poison. So that's something that they're going to have to deal with on their turn. They're going to have to buy it, get that out of here, something like that. So now they're going to have to choose, do I get rid of this delayed poison, or do I get rid of that Smoke Bomb? Because if that Smoke Bomb works, it's very powerful. 1, 2, or 3, 50-50 chance, no attack is going to happen of any kind. So that puts them in a bind. If they don't have any healing mechanism, such as Seraph, upgraded Fortitude for Barbarian, if they can't get that off of them, they have to make some tough decisions. So don't think that Smokescreen is like, well, I'm not really doing anything. No, you are actually putting yourself in the driver's seat, and they're on their back heels trying to figure out how to deal with all those status effects that's happening. And then your upgrade, 2 CP, Kujikuri, deal 4 pure damage to 2 chosen opponents, or you can choose the same opponent twice. That really irks me as well as an opponent. Gar will do this quite a bit to me, so he's dealing 8 pure damage to me. That is a lot of pure damage to one opponent. Very strong 1v1, very strong in Dice Throne Adventures. And then her upgraded Smokescreen 2 gets her 3 ninjutsus instead of 2. Very strong ability. Honestly, her upgrades are extremely good, very nice. It's hard to say there's a sell to any of them. They're very good. Her small straight here, inflict delayed poison, deal 5 damage, pretty to the point. And then her upgraded ability for only 1 CP, You can roll a die, and then on a Ninjato, it's delayed poison. On a Shuriken or Mask, inflict 2 poison, and then deal 5 damage. Another good ability. It's only 1 CP. It gets you the ability to have the option of inflicting 2 instead of 1 delayed poison. So you could be maxing out at 5 plus 6. That's 11 damage at 2 different intervals, or broken up at least. So really good overall. Shadow Fang, large straight, good night. Gain 2 ninjutsu, then deal 8 damage. Notice that you can gain the ninjutsus first, then deal 8 damage, so you can spend the ninjutsus on this attack if you so choose. And then her upgraded ability, she's going to gain Smoke Bomb as well. And then Misdirect, gain Smoke Bomb, 2 undefendable. The Misdirect may be something that you have to go to because you didn't really roll anything else on a 1v1. But on a Dice Throne Adventures, Misdirect could be very powerful. You're dealing 2 undefendable damage, but let's say you had 2 or 3 ninjutsus as well. You can make that a higher undefendable damage. Very strong overall if you combo it with other effects or abilities. Shade Walk, gain Smoke Bomb, delayed poison, 6 undefendable. Pretty good overall. You are going to notice though that a lot of her abilities are relying on those Ninjatos or Shurikens or 1 through 5s. She doesn't mind a 6, but she doesn't want more than a 6 or 1 6. So if your first roll is 2 6s and you have nothing else to really help you out with getting additional 6s, you may have to need to re-roll one of those 6s and only keep 1 because she does not want multiple of them other than Shade Walk in her ultimate. And then here's her upgraded ability. She's going to be doing 5 undefendable instead of 6, but she's inflicting 2 delayed poison rather than 1, which I think is very powerful. And then Jugulate, gain 3 ninjutsus, inflict delayed poison on a chosen opponent. That's just really just a crap. I didn't get even my mini ultimate. I just got to get this. I can't help with anything, or my opponents mess with my dice too much. I went for the ultimate, and now I have this. So just a fallback, but don't rely on it. I would not rely on multiple 6s unless you were all out. I'm going to go for that ultimate because of my cards in my hand. Lastly, her defense. Roll 3 dice. It's going to notice on the Ninjato, it's 1 damage. On Shuriken, it's 2 damage, not per. So keep that in mind. And then on Double Mask, gain Smoke Bomb. You may re-roll one of these dice. So if you roll something like this, you don't really need to re-roll, or nor should you re-roll any of these dice unless you had a 6-hit or so wild something in your hand and you needed to gain a Smoke Bomb to then have a chance to evade all that damage. Because if you re-roll any of these dice, you still need another 6 if you're looking for that Smoke Bomb. But let's say you have this. Okay, well then I'm going to keep the Shuriken because that's dealing 2 damage. I'm keeping my mask. I'm going to re-roll the 1. It's a 1. Okay, I didn't get it, but I can still deal the 3 damage overall. Her upgrade, still only rolling 3 dice, but now it's 1 per Ninjato. 2 damage for Shuriken. Double Mask, Smoke Bomb, re-roll up to 2 of these dice. So I may keep the mask if I really needed it. Re-roll these 2. Boom, mask, plus 1 damage. Gain the Smoke Bomb. Go from there. Now, let's say you already had Smoke Bomb to start out. And this is what you roll, is right here. You can use your Smoke Bomb first, because it's an instant action. Roll that first, looking for 1, 2, or 3. You roll to 3, so you evade all damage. Now you can complete your ability here, gain your Smoke Bomb back. And that is why she can be so hard to deal with, is because, yes, the stack limit is 1 for Smoke Bomb, but 50-50 shot of evading all damage is extremely nice, better than an evasive overall. Evasive is only 33% chance on a 1 or a 2, And then shadows is really the only thing that's an absolute, because you don't have to roll at all. Smoke bomb is tough to deal with. It's hard to say based on your character. Do you get rid of delayed poisons, or do you get rid of the smoke bombs? I would say kind of depending on what your hero is, what cards you have, how many status effect removals cards you have in your hand. Go from there, and when it's truly dire, I wouldn't spend it just to spend one, just to get rid of one for no reason, especially if you had a Babai. Babais are going to be very powerful against the ninja, because that's going to be your fail-safe. So you want to make sure you have some CP to deal with that. So let's go ahead, as per usual. I'll do a couple rolls here and see what happens. So she rolled her 6 right there, and boom, she has Smokescreen. So then you would gain your Smoke Bomb, 2 ninjutsus, and then inflict your delayed poison on your opponent. And then next time around, let's say that she's going to roll her defense for some reason and it's not upgraded. Okay, there's no real reason to re-roll any of these dice, so you're dealing 3 back no matter what it is. But I'm going to use my Smoke Bomb, because let's say it's Barbarian. Boom, I evade all damage. So I just dealt 3 back, received none. That can be really catastrophic. If the opponent has a tippet, really, really nice to have a tippet there. So now she's going, boom, walk the line. As you can tell, like, it's not too difficult to roll for her dice. And then I rolled a 4. So I rolled a 4 and walked the line, so it's going to be undefendable damage. And then I'm going to spend my 2 ninjutsus here. So my first one is a 2. And then my next one is a 1. So I'm adding 2 additional damage. So it's going to be 6 undefendable overall. Now she's going again. And we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. Gain 2 ninjutsus. And let's say that we're going to spend those ninjutsus. So the first one is a 1, and the second one is a 6. So now it's going to be 9 undefendable damage. So as an opponent going up against Ninja, it may be very important to save those dice modifiers to mess with her dice, because being able to just roll for undefendable, being rolling for all these additional damages to get these different smoke bombs. Kind of think of it for a second. Oh, there's the 6s. So as you can tell, she doesn't like a lot of 6s, but let's just see what happens. Can we end it off with an ultimate here? We cannot. And then, as you can tell, you have to do a lot of dice modifying. Well, I say a lot, but you only need like a tippet, so wild, samesies, to get at least Smokescreen. So that's not too bad overall. I didn't go over her specialty cards at all, and we'll go over that, and then we'll end this off. Here's her promo card, Dojo. 6 gain Smoke Bomb, 2 ninjutsus, otherwise draw a card. Fan of Knives. 2 CP, deal 1 undefendable damage to 3 opponents, or it can be the same opponent multiple times. Gar has used this against me when I had 3 or fewer HP left, or health left, and then that's how he killed me off. Very powerful, very good overall in DTA or solo or one-on-one. Poison Dart, 2 CP, inflict delayed poison on a chosen opponent. If you know that your opponent has used up all their status effect removal cards and they have no way to get any of that stuff off of them, if I know they have 1 delayed poison, or if I want to just keep that pressure on, then I may use that. Throwing Stars, 1 CP, roll 5, 1 per shuriken. Can re-roll up to 5 of these dice. Her ability to re-roll to get what she actually needs, because she whiffs the first time on these very easy, on the easiest kind of dice pool, very powerful. Escape, being attacked, roll a die, preventing that much. Automatic gain Smoke Bomb. Again, you can use a Smoke Bomb before you gain another one, because the Smoke Bombs are instant actions. Train, gaining ninjutsu. That's just in case you need to do a little more damage because you know you're doing something undefendable. Boom, I'm going to add a little bit more ninjutsu to it. And then Smoke Offering. Discard one card, or I'm sorry, if you discard a card, a chosen player gains Smoke Bomb. So you do have to discard that card because it is 0 CP. So in effect, it's worth a CP. A chosen player gains Smoke Bomb. Excuse me. So with that, that is the Ninja. She's very powerful overall. Highly liked, very good. I have not used her overall too much, but I've gone up against her multiple times due to Gar. Other than that, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care.